from our Dual City Studios in Texas, USA. It's the award-winning InWheelTime Car Talk Show. Just ahead, we traveled to the Savoy Auto Museum outside Atlanta for part one of a fascinating interview with Mary Agrusa, plus Jeff's Motor Minute, and I'll review GMC's granddaddy SUV, the Yukon, as I like to call it, the Yukon. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong, so glad that you could join us on this live edition of the Memorial Day weekend show on the InWheelTime Car Talk Network. And I guess we could call it a network because it is. We're on so many platforms, I can't even begin to repeat all of them to you. We also record this for podcast purposes, and we do quite well in the podcast episode.
And for court purposes.
And court purposes, in case you want to sue Mike. Yeah, because it's all on Mike. It's always been on him. Mr. Mars, how are you over there?
Pretty good. A little wet this morning, but pretty good.
Well, that's good, yeah. We had a storm roll through here about 3 or 4 o'clock this morning. It blasted us all out of the bed, all meaning the dog and I.
Slept through it.
And the dog, at one point, when the thunder, the lightning, all of it crashed all around us, she got out of the bed and barked.
Barked at the lightning.
Which is exactly what I'm doing right now.
She doesn't usually bark.
Okay.
Yes.
So I want to read this because I thought, well, Mary probably wrote it, but I think that it's good enough to repeat. Tucked into the rolling hills of northwest Georgia, the Savoy Automobile Museum is quickly becoming one of the nation's premier destinations for automotive enthusiasts. Opened in 2021 near the renowned Tellus Science Museum. This museum features a rotating collection of beautifully restored classics, muscle cars, race cars, and rare automotive treasures from across the decades.
Wow.
Its modern galleries, educational exhibits, and scenic driving roads nearby make it more than just a museum. It's an immersive celebration, a destination for car culture, design, engineering, and the stories behind America's love affair with the automobile. So joining us now is Mary Agrusa. Mary, it's always good to see you. How have you been?
Doing just fine. You know, I think there's something about whenever you call that we get rain, because this is the third time I've been on with you, and it's pouring rain. So thank you for sending us the rain. We needed it.
Hey, you got to keep those peanuts growing out there.
That's pretty much South Georgia. We have cattle up on this side.
Oh, cattle.
Cattle grows
Yeah.
too.
There you go.
Well, the rain is just marinating them.
Absolutely. How are you guys doing?
Well, we're doing fine. We're thinking of a road trip, and that road trip's going to take us to Cartersville, Georgia. What do you think?
Maybe around September 12th, the day of the car show.
Well, tell us about that. Let's start with the car show that's coming up September the 12th.
Okay, that will be on September the 12th. That will be our big show, and that will feature about 500 show cars. Is what
Inside, outside, or both?
Outside will be the 500 car shows, and then inside will be all the regular exhibits.
Gotcha.
So it will be jam-packed.
And I was just going to say, you're going to have to actually cut down some foliage and trees around there to get all those 500 cars in?
No, we've got a really big lawn. I mean, a huge lawn, but I think they are also looking at the option of doing some off-site parking because we ran into a little bit of a problem this year, and with adding more show cars, it could get a little bit tricky, but that's not in my wheelhouse. I don't have to deal with that problem.
Well, do you need somebody to come over there and drive the transportation buses from the parking lot over to the museum? Because I'll volunteer for that.
Hey, come on over. I'm sure that we can put you to work.
All right, very well. And listen, I don't take up much room when I sleep, so you can just put me in one of the closets within the museum.
We have a lot of those here.
Yeah, I'm sure. And then I can come over there and say I'm out of the closet.
There you go.
That's it.
Absolutely. We can even put you up on the roof if we really need to.
Okay, well, hey, anything for the ratings. That's what we think here. So, Mary, let's talk about the Savoy, and that's what we call it, the Savoy. It's the Savoy Museum, Cartersville, Georgia, and 45 miles outside of Atlanta. So you're basically just a road trip away, less than an hour.
Less than an hour from that, and just about an hour from Chattanooga. So we're right about in the middle of those two main cities, right off of I-75. Just about
Chattanooga, Tennessee. Isn't that the home of the famous moon pie?
It might be. I'm not 100% sure of that. I know They have the tow truck museum there.
Oh, see, there we go. We could do a museum tour, and maybe we could even do a moon pie museum tour.
There you go.
I'm sure they've got one.
I had a neighbor that used to. Her name was Annabella Cunningham from Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Don't they have a train there?
The
Yes, they
Chattanooga
do.
Choo Choo.
Yes, they do. And at certain times, they will take a steam train from Chattanooga down to Somerville, Georgia, where they have the turn it around, and you
Yeah,
can
the
go
round
up there and
table.
watch
Table.
the round table, and then they'll take you back up to Chattanooga. And we've done that ride, and it's really nice.
I love
Yeah.
it. So let's
Okay.
talk about let's talk about the Savoy. Yeah, anything happened in the past year since we've talked to you last?
Oh, well, the curator who was here, who I worked under, he is now the interim director out at the LeMay in Washington State,
Woof.
and our director of development is now the curator. So it was a very seamless transition in terms of if somebody in house who very familiar with how the museum works made the transition.
And so he went to the LeMay up there
Yes.
in Washington D.C. Is that where they made the material called LeMay? I actually wore a LeMay suit one time.
I
I
bet
had to
you did.
admit.
No, I think Mr. LeMay made his money in trash, in waste disposal. I think is where the money came
Perfect.
from. It's a huge place. He actually went out there as a curator. He's now acting as the interim director because their director has stepped down, so he's filling two roles. And then we had the fun of the exhibit for February and the exhibit for March, due to circumstances beyond our control, dropped out. But because we had enough cars of our own, we were able to host exhibits to fill those holes. And then unfortunately, unfortunately, in March, our founder, who was 93 years old, passed away. And so that was the end of an era there when he died. But he was 93. And it was just, he was doing for a 93-year-old guy, did very well, but it was just finally mentally sharp as a tack, but just everything just physically.
And you know what? I'm following right in his footsteps. I'm headed to 93 as fast as I can get there.
Hey, he was 93 years old and having fun. I mean, that's what he would tell you. So,
and a car guy, obviously.
oh, very much so a car guy, but also collected Western art, was very into science, which explains why we have the 3 museums that we do, and very much the philanthropist. When he sold his business and got out of, he basically was in the cable TV studio network, way back
Gotcha.
when it started. And so when he sold that all out, he started putting his money into building museums, has done a lot of work here in Cartersville that most of the time nobody will ever know about.
So
'cause they
you
won't
didn't
talk
tell
about
me
it.
you didn't tell me, Mary, that there are 2 other museums. Are they all under the Savoy umbrella?
No, we're all under what is called GMI, Georgia Museums Incorporated. So we have the Booth Western Art Museum that is downtown. That has the largest permanent collection of Western art in the United States. Not necessarily all on view at the time, but the composite of what the museum owns. About 3 miles up the road from here is the Tellus Science Museum that originally was just this little place called the Wine and Mineral Museum. He bought that, uh, expanded it into the Tellus, and I think they just added like another 20,000 feet of exhibit space out there because they're going to start bringing in rotating exhibits, except not on the crazy schedule that we do.
So let me ask you this: at the museum, how many vehicles do you have on display under roof?
Oh, you mean right now? I'm going to say probably maybe close to 50, maybe a little bit more.
Okay.
Because I think there's 15 convertibles. I think there's 12 Corvettes. I think there's 12 Woodies, 5 letter cars, 6 cars from the ACA. So probably about 45 to 50, and a whole bunch more in the building in the back.
What's
Because
what the building in the back? Is that like the storage building?
Yeah. We have
Yeah.
about 100. We have about 160 cars, give or take, altogether that we own, but they're not all out here at one time. We only have one gallery that is dedicated to the cars we own. Although right now, all the cars in the Woodies and all the cars in the AACA are also all ours, as in addition to the regular Savoy gallery.
So when
we-
you bring out all of, do you bring out all of the cars at the big shindig in September?
No. We really leave it open for everybody else to bring their cars out. We did bring one out one time in our trailer because we can put the car in the trailer and then open up the sides. And we had just been given a fully restored Volkswagen Beetle. And so we had that in there. And I think we had somebody else last year who was using it just sort of as a display thing. But between all the people that come in with the cars, all the vendors, and then all the people that are coming to the show, we couldn't bring all of our cars out. I mean, it would just take too much.
Mary, when you display the cars, when you have these rotating events going on, how long do the cars stay on display before you change them out?
4 months.
Okay.
So when an exhibit rolls in, it's here for 4 months, and that's one of the challenges because when we have to borrow, not so much from another museum, but say like from another individual, they have to realize we're going to tie the car up for 4 months. And especially as we come in now to car show season, where there are cruise-ins and car shows, if we have to borrow from an individual, it gets a little bit tricky to borrow from people during this time of the year.
Yeah, but I'll bet you that most of those people that you ask, and they go, yes, we'll do that, just to say that we've got our car in the Savoy.
Yeah, and they may have multiple cars that they can,
Sure.
maybe do away or have one go for 4 months and really not miss it.
Right.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. No. And I mean, when we had the Ferraris in here, we had to pull one out early because it was shipped over to Italy, going to a special show over there. But it also went down to Palm Beach. We had the Corvette Stingray Racer. They pulled that out for a weekend because the president of GM was down at Florida, and he pulled it out for a car show at the yacht club. So I mean, things do sometimes get pulled out, and sometimes if we know it's going to come in like a little bit late or have to leave a little bit early, that works out okay. But it's not like you can have it for 2 months and then we're going to pull it out. That may not necessarily work unless it's something that is so unique that we'll say, okay, for that short period of time,
Be worth
we'll
it.
have it.
So
Yeah.
I have to ask, were you the one that drew the short straw in driving the Corvette from the Savoy down to the yacht club in Florida?
No, actually, we have 2 cars here from GM Heritage. They actually bring the car in the building, and they come and they take it out. And it is stanchioned. We're not even allowed to dust it. If we have to move that car, they will come and move it. So,
Wow.
no, I did not get to drive that car. I wish I did because, oh boy, when he started that car up, it is sweet. But no, and they consider that the rumor is that if the building up there burns down, that's the one car that they're going to pull out.
Wow. So if we send Mike up there to visit with you, can you keep him for 4 months?
Oh, we could probably find something for him. In fact, here is the Stingray Racer. Let me get it on here.
Very nice.
Yeah.
What is that? That
Don't touch it.
so that would be a C2.
No, this is a C nothing. This was
This is zero.
1959. This was Bill Mitchell's race car, and he
Oh.
had this commissioned. It actually did run. He did race it. It was Peter Brock, Larry Shinoda, and Tony Lupino were the 3 that did this in Project X. It was done. It was raced, and when it was raced, there was nothing on it that said GM, nothing on it that said Chevrolet, because at that point they were not officially in racing. And so even though everybody knew that it was a GM product, they all knew where it got built because, of course, it's Bill Mitchell's car. It officially was not a GM product, but this was sort of like, while they were doing this was also the prototype. They were starting to design the Stingray at the same time. And so that's where they came out with the idea of the Stingray. And it's a beautiful, beautiful car, but it's a little hard photographing it because the stanchions are like really far out and I can't get close.
That's okay. That was for my next question. So when the museum is closed and the last guest leaves and you're locking the doors, do you find yourself going over there and just sitting in the driver's seat, going vroom, 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 turning the wheel? And
No, because the security cameras are on at all times, and I would be out the door in a heartbeat, maybe even with a police escort. No. If it's in no, I mean I wish I wish the guy would give me. I mean when they come to pick it up, and the day that this exhibit ends, they are picking it up that night and taking it home. So
Wow.
they are very, very picky about it. But
Well,
I can
how long is that car going to be there?
probably another week. Next Sunday, the Corvettes, all the Corvettes that we have an exhibit will close, and so they will come pick up this. And then we also have their manta ray. That is another
The
one of the
manta
concepts.
ray.
Wow.
Oh my
Yeah,
God! Yes, the famous manta ray.
yeah. I mean, I love the dashboard in there that has nothing on it because everything is on all on the console. Beautiful, beautiful car, and of course it
Man,
has the
I remember when that came out. It was on the cover of every car magazine in the world.
Is that a right-hand drive?
No,
no left. It's left.
I think her camera's backwards.
Cameras. Okay, a
It,
camera. Yeah,
Yeah.
the image is back. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Sorry,
But
guys.
you're good. Don't
You don't touch
change
it.
Don't touch
anything.
it. No.
I mean, and I'll mention too, like, if, I don't know if you can see it really close. Like the paint on this is not perfect. This is the original paint. This is how it was from the very beginning. What I love about this though is this little goodie in the back. And if you look at the back end, you can see that there are these flaps that come up. And
Yes.
the tail lights are all the way down here. So if you happen to be behind this car, you'd never see when you hit the brakes. But if you hit the brakes or your turn signals, this will lift up. There's a light that comes up and will hit a mirror under here and shine. So the driver behind you theoretically could see where they were going, that you were going to hit the brakes. And when we've been doing the tours, I've said to people, now how long did it take us to put a brake light up where you can see it? On cars today, but they were doing it here. But in '39, when the Graham brothers did the shark nose, where they had those big pontoon fenders, their tail light was back on the top of that fender, so that if you hit the brakes, you could see somebody was hitting the brakes on that car. But it just takes us about almost half a century to come up with something close to.
So, Mary, we're out of time for this segment. So,
Okay.
come up with something for our next segment, which is going to be the top of the next hour, and we're
Okay.
going to let you guide us around the museum in the next segment. Okay?
How about some woodies?
Love that.
Yep.
Right off the top. Love it. All right. So we'll
Okay.
talk to you then. All right.
Okay.
Thank you. All right.
Bye.
Bye. Mary Argusa, Savoy Museum, Cartersville, Georgia. We'll love talking to her. All right, just ahead, Jeff's Motor Minute, and a review of the new GMC Yukon when the InWheelTime Car Talk Show continues right after this break. The Tex-Mex dining experience is defined by Lupi Tortilla, your destination for Texas's best beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. Since 1983, Lupi Tortilla has served authentic and time-tested recipes made with the freshest ingredients. Atmosphere is part of the award-winning experience at Lupi Tortilla, all developed in a little house near Highway 6 and I-10 in Houston. Visit any of the Lupi Tortillas and you'll see the same attention to detail in each and every location. Start your Lupi experience with queso flamiado and guacamole, along with a classic frozen margarita. Dine on famous Lupi beef and chicken fajitas or pepper shrimp brochette, or a fish or vegetarian entree, and finish with a scrumptious flan for dessert. Find Lupi Tortilla in Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas-Fort Worth. There's a Texas location near you. The recipes are authentic and time-tested. The ingredients always fresh. Lupi Tortilla. Eats pretty good. Apple or Android, InWheelTime Podcast can be found everywhere, on the stream and through downloads. Whether you're on the road or at home and searching for a fun car talk show, give InWheelTime a try. Honest new car reviews, fun, informative interviews with real car people, weekly automotive news, features like Jeff's Car Culture, Mike's Driving Destinations, all on InWheelTime. Check us out on SiriusXM Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or while you're shopping on Amazon through Amazon Music. InWheelTime.com has a list, so check us out. That's it for this podcast episode of the InWheelTime Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.